Okay, so let's have some fun here. I know a lot of folks are talking about Claude and Claude sub agents. I was reading the documentation this morning, got super jazzed on it. I was like, okay, let me sit down here. Let me try to figure out if I can build a sub agent to handle something operational inside of Map. Where I landed was whenever we bring on new customers, one of the first things that we have to do is check compliance. There are specific laws out there, most notably TCPA, that requires our customers to have what is called written consent on their website. So if they're driving traffic or leads to their website does need to have written consent that says it is okay for that brand through Mav to text their consumers. And there's all sorts of rules and legalities around it, but I wanted to see if I could very quickly create a sub agent to validate if a prospective customer does have the appropriate written consent. So let's dive in. I want to show you kind of where I got to. So I'm gonna go into here, hop into our agents here, and then we're gonna go boot up Claude. So I already created the sub agent, which is basically like a markdown, right? So it's a markdown file that has prompted instructions to do the job that you want it to do. So I already took care of that this morning. But if anyone's interested, like just comment below. I'll send you a GitHub gist of the markdown file. You could have this for yourself, or I could show you how to create this for any internal operational thing you may have. But anyways, you boot up Claude, and then essentially what you have is like these sub agents that you can call from within Claude code. And it's cool too, because you can like daisy chain this where one sub agent calls another sub agent, calls another sub agent. And theoretically, you have like this org chart of AI agents. But for this demo, I just wanted to create this first one. So you can call it in any natural way. So I could say, check if myquote.com has correct TCPA compliance, right? So what this will do is it will use the TCPA compliance checker agent. That's the agent I built earlier with the markdown file, the big old prompt with the instructions of what to do. What it will do now is it actually will go to myquote.com, not a customer, not affiliated in any way, shape, or form, just as an FYI. It actually will go to their website and it will scrape their website in search of specific things as it relates to the written consent, the privacy policy, the terms and conditions. It actually will ask me, do you want me to actually fetch content from this website? I'll say, yeah, go ahead and don't ask me again. So my agent is actually going to go and start looking for a privacy policy, looking for terms and conditions, and trying to find exactly what we're after in terms of the instructions for TCPA opt-in. Okay, so I finally found the terms, find the contact page. So it actually just kept looping. It kept looking for additional URL strings on where to find some of this information in terms of privacy terms and contact, which is so cool because like you don't need to know where this stuff is hosted. Give it the root URL. My agent will actually do the dirty work of just sifting around, right? I think it's actually searching the web for where the TCPA compliance is for myquote.com, which is crazy to me. And the cool thing about this too is like this, you could be a sales agent or a sales rep that's on a call with a prospective customer, and literally on the call deploy these agents to do this initial compliance work and right then and there come back to them and say, hey, look, like this is where we're at in terms of compliance. We either need to bring you from here to here or you're all good or we've got a lot of work to do. This is traditionally a process that someone on my team would have to do manually in parallel to the sales process. So having this stuff programmatically run in the background while the human's doing the highest leverage stuff is pretty rad. So here it goes, creating all those tokens. So check this out. So based off the TCPA compliance analysis, my quote is partially compliant. You'll see here that it will go through all the key issues that it sees. It will talk about positive elements that it actually did find. In this case, there was TCPA consent language in the privacy policy. It does collect written consent. It actually gives a recommendation on how to make this a little bit more robust. This is something that could be discussed with the customer directly on the phone while in the flow of that discovery call or whatever you're doing. You could also be like, this is great. Draft this up into an email and send over to my prospect. So I don't have email actually hooked up here, so it's not actually going to send that email. So it's going to ask for that. Just pretend that it's Hillary Black and email Hillary.com. Got to pick on Hillary. Boom. So here it is. in terms of a drafted email based off of my agent scraping myquote.com, coming back with recommendations for what is missing in terms of sufficient TCPA compliance. And this is all stuff that I define in my sub-agent definition. So anyways, this is super cool. I love this stuff. I'm going to continue hacking on this. I'm sure there's so many different things that I could come up with in terms of augmenting just us as a company. But yeah, I thought this was super cool. I wanted to share it. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.